the question would be, what would be the starting lineup in this one? And we got our answer there. Hour before the game, it comes out, says we got a back four of Gantenbein, Kalash, Schallenberg, and Merkin with Heckeren in goal. We knew Heckeren started as of the Thursday prior. Geraerts kind of tipping him as a starter just based on momentum. Both keepers really, him and Hoffman going tit for tat. However, momentum seems to be going in Justin's way. So we were questioning that decision there. Midfield two of Seguin and Bachmann with Aiden, Karaman, Moore, all led by Sylla. 4-2-3-1. We thought it'd be some kind of 3-4-3 variation. It is still kind of a variation of what Geraerts likes to do. But thoughts on the starting lineup in this one?
I mean, if you would have told me that, our starting wingers, if you will, first game of the season, we're going to be Moore and Aiden. At some point last season, if you would have told me that, I would have thought you were smoking something. Just fascinating because Moore was not super involved in the team over the course of the season last year. I feel like, and Aiden wasn't even with us being out on loan, so that's just surprising as well. To even see Aiden being used in that way in the starting lineup from the first game is interesting to me. Schallenberg as well at center back, just because once again mostly defensive midfield for us last season. I thought Schallenberg did very well in this game too in that role. Once again, maybe not the most dangerous of opposition at times. So do what you want with that, but impressive. And then Bachmann Seguin partnership seemed pretty strong to start the season, and then Sylla as advertised so far. So the other main piece, as you mentioned, was just the goalkeeping with Herkinen. Interested to hear what your thoughts are, but based on that performance, you can kind of see why the decision may have been made, and also some things happen in this game that are going to add some points in his favor and make it a little bit harder to probably take him out until maybe there's a mistake made or something along those lines. But we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, it's interesting. Certainly an interesting lineup to say the least. I kind of figured Bachmann would be in there, Seguin and Schallenberg. You knew would be in there. I think seeing Schallenberg in defense, you're thinking like, oh, what's going on here? We kind of put him there last year out of necessity, but he got inserted to the lineup. Obviously, Merck and Kalash were going to be staples. I wasn't sure what they're going to do with the right wing side. I thought they could have gone a couple different ways with the right back if they had gone with the four. Going Gantenbein, I was impressed by him. I mean, there really wasn't anybody I wasn't impressed with in this game. I think obviously Seguin was fantastic. Schallenberg was fantastic. Sylla, like you said, as advertised. We talked about how in preseason he scored a boatload of goals in preseason, but we're like, does that translate to the regular season? It's just a friendly. You could take that with a grain of salt. He gets 2 goals and an assist in this one. Karaman, would he keep up from last year? He gets 2 goals and I think an assist as well. It's just good performance all the way around. I think the team hit a home run with this one. I mean, Heckeren, we can get into right now because 7 minutes into the game, right away, he gets tested one-on-one. And we're like, as soon as he come down, we're like, okay, here we're going to see what happens. It's going to make or break the game right here. Comes out aggressive, gets a great save on, I don't know if it was Felipe or whoever it was, but stood strong there. And what we saw in this game is decisive in the box, made the saves that he had to make. And then his distribution was wonderful. I don't think we've seen distribution like that since Neuer, dare I say. It was pretty good from Heckeren, so I can see why Geraerts went with him. I love the decision. I'm with you. I think as of right now, keep him in there until there's reason to change him out of there. You can obviously have Hoffman start the Pokal game against Aachen coming up here in a couple weeks. I'm good with Heckeren at the moment. I mean, from what we saw him little in the past, nothing that really scared me about him, but after this performance, I'm like, okay, I kind of like it. It keeps the flow going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, it's a tough position for the other Braunschweig signing to be in, to lose his spot, and then when he thinks he's coming in to be a starting goalkeeper, it's a tough spot to be in. But like you said, you can't really fault Geraerts based on what we saw in the first game. What I'll say about Herkinen is definitely seems to have buffed out a little bit, grown up a little bit. Not in the slightest frame as previously. Pretty comfortable in possession and under pressure. Wasn't under pressure in possession a ton, but seemed pretty comfortable being involved in that way. And then of course, sort of the medium range distribution was very solid, and a couple nice long range opportunities as well. So blocked a couple crosses too. I think a pretty solid game from him overall. and that's really really promising. You know, we're worried obviously in the absence of Muller this season. It's so nice when you just don't have to worry about the goalkeeper position. And we've been in positions recently where like that is a huge question mark and something that's costing us results and costing us goals. And Muller was such a breath of fresh air when he was healthy and available last season for kind of taking that off of the plate during a campaign that was really difficult otherwise. And so yeah, obviously first game of the season, early returns looking good on that front. So yeah, pretty pleased.
But it was a wonderful performance. Obviously, we did see Hoyland, I thought, looked hungry. He looked like he was ready to score a goal. He just didn't get one tonight. Donker looked okay. Kaminsky was, like you mentioned, was okay. Poulter came out for a cameo. I think, was it Cisse or someone came out at the end as well? So, thoughts on what you saw from the starting 11 or the players who played. And who's your man of the match, and who are you going to give shout outs to?
Yeah, man, it's tough. I think shock factor man of the match is Schallenberg.
Okay.
I think outside of that, man of the match is I'm probably just gonna give it to Sylla just because he's the new man. Striker, we know Schalke's offensive woes over the course of the year. For him to come in immediately, brace right off the bat, love to see it. And then my honorary mention is going to be Seguin. Really quiet, but just silky and strong performance from him, linking things up. Really pretty pleased with him.
I'm certainly going to give a shout out to Heckerin. I thought great game by him. Outside of that goal that he allowed, wonderful distribution, was strong in the air, made saves when he had to. He was really good in this game. I thought, Sylla, Karaman, both of them getting goals early on. Karaman's probably feels the weight of the world off his shoulders now with another goal scorer on the team. Merkin, a little quiet like you mentioned. Kalash, another strong game. Gantenbeim, I was actually impressed with him. You know, didn't make any big mistakes. Got up in the play a couple times. For me, the two best players, one Seguin. He was quiet, but he was so silky smooth, like you said. He looked like he wanted the ball. Looked like he was dictating the play. He was the maestro out there, really pulling the strings. Took every centerpieces that was available. Just kept asking for the ball and then kept pushing up on the play. I think having Bachmann what he did in the first half and then Schallenberg in the second half allowed Seguin to push up as much as he did. So I love seeing Seguin like that. I think we heard in the offseason whether he's going to go or stay. And he said, if Geraerts stays, I stay. If he goes, I go. And you can kind of see why he's a Geraerts guy. And I think he's going to be a staple in the center midfield there. And I think for me, Schallenberg, I like the shock factor there. Yeah, he's my man of the match just because he did it in two positions. He got at least one assist, if not two. He was key. He broke up two key plays that led to goals for the third and fourth one. He was all over the place in multiple positions. For a guy that we've given so much stick to over the last year, this is his best game by far, hands down. And so him and Seguin were 1 and 1A on the day. So kudos to them. And yeah.
No, what I love about that though is, and once again, we're not trying to get overly excited about a victory against Braunschweig on match day one. But what I love about that is you have somebody like Keenan Karaman who had a brace in this game, and we're talking about Schallenberg and Seguin as people to get man of the match over somebody who scored 2 goals.
Yeah. That's good.
Probably means you have a pretty good team performance overall. If that's kind of what the conversation looks like. So I think that's indicative of what we saw in this one, which was pretty strong. So, be interesting to see if we can kind of keep this shape going forward. We keep hearing about the tactical flexibility and the goals there. A lot of Route 1 build-up in this game at times from Herkern on some of those. So we'll have to see if that's kind of going to be a continued point of emphasis or if that was kind of matchup dependent. I'm looking forward to see a lot of what the tweaks are going to be with the new personnel with Geraerts early in the season here. Yeah,
we still have that mystery guy that Manga is going after in Spain, but 4 of our players made the kicker 11, best 11 there, and you had obviously Sylla on the right, 2 goals and an assist. Karaman, 2 goals and assists. Tobias Moore gets a goal and he gets in the starting 11, and not Merkin, but Ron Schallenberg also gets in there with his great performance in this one. So yeah, kind of going to your point that everyone on the team pretty much had a really great game, other than like Aiden and maybe Merkin. But no, I think overall as a game, that's a fantastic way to start the season.